Hello, my name is Ryan, and 4 years ago I stumbled on something extraordinary. Since then, I've been learning how to communicate it with you all here on TikTok. It's time for a reintroduction, one without any pomp or flair. I'm just a dude, bro. But I have had an extraordinary life, and I don't necessarily mean fun or cool. I was born into a Christian home, and we went to the Pentecostal Church of God. But that church fell to scandal. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, and I mean my parents got divorced. All in one day, I lost all the foundations right out from under me. I moved with my dad back to his hometown, and we didn't go to church anymore. I entered high school in a whirlwind of anger and bitterness. I was mad at the whole world. You know, I had prayed to God every day for a year. Don't let my parents get divorced, man, please. I didn't understand at the time that he was leaving that decision up to them. But I took that answer as no, and I took that no as, well, you don't exist then, dude. What good is a God who can't answer my prayers? I was belligerent in high school. I found drugs and alcohol, parties. My world was already confusion entirely. All the people who had taught me everything I know, well, they didn't believe none of that. And even if they did, what good was it? What good did that do? The church can fall apart, the people in it can turn on each other and hate each other's guts? What? Oh. A family can fall apart? Oh. Nobody's actually in charge here? People just do what they stinking want to everywhere? Regardless of what they claim to believe in and such? Oh. Dang, this is therapy. I didn't know I was gonna feel like this to say these things. I'm supposed to take my family out to lunch. I better keep it together. All right, needless to say, I was disappointed. In everyone and everything, in God. What a crap world this is then, I said to myself repeatedly, and to everyone else. Especially if they were trying to say something good, I'd say, nah, don't. It ain't. It's only actually pain and suffering, became my message. If there's a God, he does not care, I would tell people. I did poorly in high school. I did not care about anything. I became vicious. I was not expecting to graduate my senior year because they all kept telling me that. I had a 1.87 grade point average, and I had missed too many days. I got suspended for not going to class. Don't threaten me with a good time. That's what I was trying to do anyway. But they made us take a test our junior year, I think, the end of it there, and I scored way too high on it. I got a scholarship to go to college. It was a small one, $2,500. Go study whatever you want, kid. And they wouldn't tell me if I had a diploma or not, but they let me walk. And I sweat that whole ceremony. They said, don't you do a single thing. Don't say a single word. No acts, no show. Make 0 statements. So I refrained. I didn't find out until we got to the library after the whole thing that I did get a diploma. They let me graduate because of that test. They can't say I don't know the stuff. It would have been an embarrassment to not let me graduate. Something like that, I imagine. I was not getting accepted into any universities for any reason whatsoever. I took my money down to the little community college in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Cal Valley, and I tested out all my prerequisites and took the big kid classes. With the big kids, sociology, political science, the Bible is literature, college writing, philosophy, those kind of classes. World religions. I'm back from lunch. I was a 4.2 student in college. I never got any kind of degree. I ran that money out. And then I went to work. By that time, I didn't believe in God at all. I had learned too much to need that. And I would mock and scorn anyone who did. Vicious. I railed against Christianity and against God. I hated these concepts entirely. The Bible was anathema to me, meaning I hated it most of all. Right about that time, a friend gave me a metaphysical book about quantum mechanics, and I read it. A book trying to prove spirituality using quantum physics, which got me real interested in actual quantum physics, which thing that book wasn't. Got real interested in cosmology and astrophysics. I do not care so much about classical physics. I can throw a ball. I'd care if I was trying to do something with it, like make machinery or something. But I was more interested in the exciting stuff, the mind-blowing stuff. The stuff that made me feel okay about not understanding reality or the world or what life was even about. I says to myself, oh, it's about not knowing and finding out. Much as you can. At least, what else is there to do? The more I read and the more programs I watched, the more I started to say to myself, wait a minute, man, this is all crazy, bro. Reality is far more than I thought it was. Far more. And the more I learned, the less satisfied my soul became about it all. I said, it's awful complex to mean nothing at all. Seems like a lot of trouble for nothing. Seems inherently like there should be a point, maybe. So I started going looking for the point. I was a student of world religions. I hated the Bible. I'm not looking there. I said, went back to my religious studies. What is religion all about? Like, I'm not the only one feeling this way about it, apparently. I went back and read Bhagavad Gita, Song of God from one of the sacred Hindu texts. And after all the scientific stuff I had read and watched, I said, wait a minute, there's far more to this book than just the religious thing. This dude is making all kind of claims about reality itself. And by this dude, I mean Krishna in the book is God in the book, supposedly. I found that I could grasp and understand what he was saying about reality in an abstract way, not necessarily in a direct or literal way, but something is ringing sensical to this book to me. Even though it's so fantastical, even though it's so nonsensical, there's like something there. I already knew at this point that mythology was people's way to tell their history with symbolism. And humans naturally tend to embellish things when they retell them, so you end up with some real fanciful stories. People using fantasy to fill in the gaps of things that they don't understand or don't know, as the brain does. Build a world model from what you do know and what you do understand, and then make it funner to hear and so to tell. And this is a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Make learning fun! How do we get people to agree to all this so that we can have a society, you know? I started telling everyone about Bhagavad Gita and how it made way more sense than the Bible ever could. And I went on like that for a while, but then something happened. I got sick out of nowhere. I kept getting sick out of nowhere. Acute pancreatitis led to chronic pancreatitis, and my life turned to dust and ashes, and I was in hell walking around here. And I went all the way up through the list of doctors in the medical system to the very top gastroenterologist. Idiopathic pancreatitis means they don't know what was causing it. No idea whatsoever. Not even a perhaps. I had lost 65 pounds in 4 months, 45 pounds of muscle and all of my body fat. I'd step on the scale every day and another 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, gone. Where did it go? Gone. Something was burning me up from the inside out. It was my anger and my hatred and my bitterness. They shoved a scope down my throat. My wife was 6 months pregnant at the time with our first child. We went to his office to get the results and he sat me down and said, "You're gonna die." I said, "No, surely there's something I can do." And he said, "No, there isn't. You can go home and take as many narcotics as you like for the pain, but you're going to die." I said, "The hell if I am." I said, "I don't believe you, that there's nothing at all that I can do. You mean with all your science, you don't know what's going on in my body? Or how to fix it? What do you know then?" I went home with no hope, but still full of belligerence. I lay in the bathroom floor in hell on earth day after day after day. In one of those days, I pulled out of my pocket the last resort of a scoundrel. I said, "God, you can heal me or you can kill me. I do not care. Only I need to know what is true before I die." That science I loved so much failed me. All that metaphysical talk about the universe failed me. Where was Sri Krishna Jai while I was dying? He did not answer me. A week later, I was sitting in a back corner clinic, a research program at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. A doctor of Korean medicine named Jong Bae Park. That man knew science and he saved my life and instructed me better how to live it. That was 15 years ago. I was supposed to die. I did not. I will tell you what I do know. The God who saved me, his name is Jesus Christ. I started reading the Bible again. I went and got baptized. I discovered in that book things that I had never been told, never been taught. I never knew who Jesus or God was to begin with, according to what the book actually says. I hated somebody else that didn't even exist. I've been saved for a while now. We moved up to the bush of Alaska, and over a decade I recovered my health under the instruction of Dr. Jong Bae Park. And 4 years ago, I found something in Ezekiel chapter 1. A wheel within a wheel, 4 of them, and above them heaven, and above that God on his throne, driving reality itself. I've struggled mightily to tell you about this, and I will continue to struggle until I have told you properly.